Alright. I saw something in the last system that I was in. I want to go check it out. The only problem is that was one jump ago, which means it's now 500 light years away. But I still want to go see what it is, if it's anything. So minimum, we get like a small 1,000 light year round trip. And also, I'm just really bored of you know, just jumping the fleet carrier over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I actually want to play the game. Well, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. So let's go ahead and change shit. I guess we'll get the Mach 5 out because it's honestly really fun. It's gonna take quite a while to jump 500 light years in this, but you know. How many jumps? 12 jumps. 12 jumps is not really that bad. I mean, it's probably nothing. But you know, it'd be pretty cool if it was something. I'm debating if I want to send the fleet carrier back there. You know, because then I can just go back to being AFK as fuck. But you know, like I just said, that's pretty boring. I haven't actually played this game in a while. I play mouse and keyboard, so I'll probably be like really shitty for a while. Especially because my mouse sensitivity is really wonky right now, and the ship is very agile. Alright, let's get jumping. You know that thing that like some YouTubers do? You know how like when they're talking and they're like, and instead of just talking normally, you know how like you actually fucking speak to people? Let me just change the volume really quick. Hold on. I literally can't open the tab without like clicking mute on the tab. Whoa, what the fuck? Anyways, this is a big ass star, or was I just not paying attention? Nah, yeah. I just wasn't paying attention. Anyways, yeah, so where was I? So you know how like, you like normally talk to people? And then you have like some YouTubers, you know, that are like, hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be doing this, you know, we're gonna jump back 12 systems here, and we're gonna check this out, you know, like fuck that, dude. Like, who actually, like, that pisses me off more than AI content, honestly. You know, like the constant, like, you know, voice, you know, like going like up and down and up and down. It's like a fucking roller coaster, dude. Like, oh my god. Anyways, oh well. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention when we jumped into this system, so I thought that I just found like a fucking like absolute like mega fucking Um, this is gonna be rambly as fuck, by the way, but you know, just like a mega fucking star, just like absolutely, just like the biggest boy ever. Because I like look back at the game and then it's just like my entire field of view. Speaking about field of view, by the way, I have like played VR games since like pretty much 2016. Um, and I'm here to tell you that damn near every single VR game is like a single play experience, or at least for me, like, you know, you play through like Half-Life Alyx, for example, like one time, and then like, you know, why would you ever play it again type thing. Um, yeah, I mean that's kind of how I feel about it, to be honest. Um, and honestly, I think if it weren't for you know, like VR chat, for example, I feel like VR wouldn't have become mainstream. And talking about VR, like mainstream VR, in and of itself, is another like really annoying point of contention that I have. So up until like I want to say 21 or 22, VR was, you know, kind of, you know, like a niche thing. You know, you needed a good computer, you needed you know, a lot of money, you know, for your good computer and for your VR. So it was you know, it was kind of like a much smaller community than it is now. Um you know, and now you go into fucking like, you know, VR chat, for example. Pretty much the only reason why, you know, VR got so popular. And I know that they recently added like the whole like age verification thing, but I mean like that's kind of fucking weird, you know? Sending like some random company like your ID to get like verified in some stupid fucking VR game. But like, you know, back then, you know, like lobbies were, you know, way more chill and shit. And now just like basically any public lobby you go in is like entirely comprised of like fucking like 8-year-olds. You basically like can't chill in VR chat anymore in public. Which is stupid because like the whole reason that that existed was because of, you know, to like find friends and like hang out and shit. Um Also, you know, with things like, you know, like the quest and like, you know, standalones and stuff. It doesn't even get me started on questies and standalones. They've literally like ruined like completely ruined like VR chat and almost VR as like an entire whole. And that might be an unpopular opinion, okay? But let me tell you, the reason why I think that, right, is because the the VR space, I guess, if you wanted to call it that, is, or at least it used to be, you know, like I said, primarily like an adult or like a late teen type of thing. And now there's like way too, you know, these fucking kids. We're gonna ruin everything. No, but I don't know, dude. Like, it's not the people who play it, right? It's like there's people who make VRs. So obviously, you know, they don't care about, you know, take any game, game like big game company. You know, obviously like indie game companies and to a certain extent like some game companies, you know, care about their player base. Um, but you know, the bigger they get, definitely the less that they care. Um, because they just want money. You know, they just want more money, and all they want is money. Um, you know, money is like literally the reason, you know, like I feel like why the world is so fucked. Of course, I don't have a fucking, you know, of course I don't have a solution, but you know, just my opinion, anyways. Obviously, you know, we gotta go back to like trading a fucking cow for like 3 buckets of fucking like I don't know, but you know, whatever. I'm getting super off track. Um, Basically, back before VR became mainstream. I guess my point is, before VR became mainstream, um, standalone really wasn't a thing, and it kind of was, but it was really, really bad, and no one liked it, and it was just really shit, right? Um, but you know, time has moved on. You know, like standalones have got, you know, like better. I guess they're still, you know, like in my opinion, the best standalone is still nothing compared to like a mid-tier, you know, like PC VR from like, I don't know, when did the Vive Pro 2 come out? Like 2018. And I know that, you know, like for example, like the new Quest has like better lenses or whatever, you know, like literally, like if you annoy a Quested, the only thing that they have to say is like, oh yeah, well we have better lenses than you, and I'm just like, okay, bro. No, yeah, but like, so because of that, right? Like even new, like new headsets are now just being standalone. Like even like, so originally, right? Like it was what, like there was like the Oculus, like the CV1, and then there was, you know, like the Vive Pro, and then like I think the Vive Pro 2 came out before the Index. I think the Index was like 2019 and the Pro 2 was like 2018 or something. Like since those two headsets, you know, like people have been waiting for an Index 2, like Project Decade, forever, right? And like now, like the rumors are like, oh well, Project Deckard is gonna be a standalone. You know, like no, like that's fucking fuck you, dude. Like, and then their argument is, well, but it can be a PC VR. Like the main issue with that, right? And even like the what are those other people? The ones that have that like Omega, like overpriced looking one. I don't know. Does it even matter? It's like the Crystal Light or whatever, or like the Crystal Pro, whatever that company is. They literally sell the headset, right? And then I don't know how many of you guys are gonna care about this, but basically, VR chat is not worth playing, in my opinion, without base stations. You know, like obviously standalones don't need base stations, or even standalones that are connected to a PC, they don't need base stations, right? I mean, that's fine if, you know, you're only gonna have your hands, you know, in front of your face, which is like, you know, the main issue. Yeah, like as soon as your hands, you know, get out of whatever the field of view is of your headset, you know, like if you put them way down by your sides, or like, you know, God forbid if you want to put your hands behind your back, or, you know, like above your head, for too long, it's just gonna have to like stop knowing where they are. Like it can't see them anymore, and it's gonna have to just, you know, guess where they are, which is obviously not as good. And you know, people are either they're then gonna bring up the fact like, oh well, you can get base stations for them. It's like, okay, so I'm gonna spend a premium to get like a headset that can do, you know, like inside out tracking, right? That doesn't need base stations. So that costs more than like the regular headset. Okay. And then I'm also gonna have to buy base stations. And then on top of that, if I want to use trackers, like for the new Crystal or whatever the hell it is, you need to buy like a separate plate for the headset. It's like a plate that clips on the front that allows it to be used with like base stations, and like to allow, like, you know, like Vive trackers, you know, for like full body, like. And because of, you know, like that's because that like fucking VR became so mainstream, like, you know, there's just so many people like playing VR now that like they don't even care about full body. They don't care that their inside out tracking is like garbage, you know. And it's the whole thing just pisses me off, you know. Like VR has definitely improved since it came out, obviously, but it's like it's like gone in like a direction that I really really hate. Which maybe is a good thing. I don't know. Like, I played VR chat. Well, actually, I played VR chat on desktop for like 700 hours because I was mostly just like hanging out with my friends and like we made a few worlds and like learning how to make avatars for the first time back in the day and shit like that. Um, you know, that type of stuff. Um, and then I decided to get a VR. I actually got an Oculus first because my friend was like, "Oh, well, what if you don't like it? What if you don't like VR? Like, you should get an Oculus." And then I was like, "Fine, I'll get an Oculus." I got an Oculus, and then within a week, I was like, "Wow, this resolution is terrible. Like, this is awful. Like, I wanna get a." Then I upgraded to the Vive, like the HTC Vive, the original one, the black one. And that one was incredible. And then a couple years later, I I got the Vive Pro, the blue one, and then just recently I got the Vive Pro 2. I got the Vive Pro 2, in fucking obviously this year, so 2025, right? I'm sorry, I like playing and like talking. It's like not anyway. So I like it because I had been looking for like a replacement because my Vive Pro 1 at that point was literally falling apart. Like the strap was falling off. Like it was just in a really bad way. It was really like beat up and like gross kind of to the point where like if you know you know. I'm not about to explain more of that. Anyway, so I mean right now I'm only at like I guess I could check really quick. I think like 3,000 something hours in VR chat. Or no, actually I've lied. 4,027 hours. And I mean honestly, like if you guys know people that play VR chat, like 4,000 hours in that game is really like not a lot. Like there's some people that I know with over 20,000 hours just in that game. Anyway, so I was in 2025. It was a couple months ago, not super long ago, maybe like right before April, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before April. I was scouring the internet, trying to find out what headset to buy, like where the tech is right now, and that's kind of where I started to get pretty annoyed about like the whole situation. And yeah, I don't know. I ended up buying a headset that came out in 2018, in 2025. Like my friend was like, "Oh, like why are you so annoyed about that? Like if it's still good, then it's brand new. Like, like why does it even matter how old it is?" And I'm just like, "What are you talking about? Like are you telling me that like in 7 years, look at like a phone, right? I can't really think of an example, like models of a phone. They're 7 years apart, right? But like, look at like an iPhone or a Samsung that came out, 7 years apart. Like, it's ridiculous, right? I mean, like, look at GPUs. 7 years. I don't know what came out. Maybe like the 10 series, like the 1080s or whatever. And then like now we have like I don't know if you would class it as like the 40 series or the 50 series right now. Like I don't really know slash care. But like look at like the difference. 7 years is in tech. Like it's forever. But like here I was in 2025 buying a headset that came out like 7 years ago. And like it was just ridiculous. It was so stupid to me that like nothing better had come out since then. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I mean Vive have released new headsets since then, right? Like they have the I don't know what it's called, but they have like the Cosmos Elite or whatever, and then like the other kind of looking one. I don't know, like I would have to like I did look at it. Actually, you know, like let me like look at it right now, right? Because I just forget the name right now. Is it the XR Elite or is it the it might be the XR Elite. I'm not entirely sure. My browser is like not responding right now. It's being super laggy. But I mean, whatever their new headset is, that it may be the XR Elite. But uh, I did look at that, and I remember some people saying that like the facial tracking doesn't really work. Like if you like sweat or whatever, and sorry to tell you that I don't have AC, and in summer my room gets like 30 Celsius. So yes, I would in fact sweat. And then also, you know, it's a headset that has inside out tracking. Like it doesn't fucking, you know, normally, you know, want to use base stations. So like, but then you can use base stations and you can PCVR, or it is PCVR or whatever. But like at that point, why not just, you know, get like a Vive Pro 2, which is essentially the exact same thing, but like half the price, or even less than half the price or whatever. Especially if you already have, you know, base stations, and all that. It just wasn't, you know, it just wasn't worth it. Um, it seems really stupid, just to be honest with you. And I know that this is probably like a non-issue, but like, you know, it's still like super stupid and frustrating in my opinion that, you know, basically VR has like in my mind VR has like devolved, you know? Like it's gone backwards. Like you know, like inside out tracking is not as good, you know, like for them to like claim that it is, and don't even get me started on like the Vive Ultimate trackers. Like those are just straight garbage. Um, I don't know, dude. Like it's just annoying.
Oh my god, now I'm swimming in the oceans of Europa!
Uh, you know, I actually for some reason was like, 12 jumps. That's not gonna take that long, right? And then like you know, I have now realized that like 12 jumps involves oh god, involves you know, if I'm you know being a diligent fucking explorer to like actually like discover like bodies and like semi-scan systems and stuff. Um, but I guess on the way back, you know, it'd be quicker on the way back. Body one. You know, like my friend found a system with like I think it was like 78 or something, or like 70 something bodies. And then ever since he's been like, oh, like Lamau, try and find a system with like more than this. I mean, of course, you know, like that is a pretty cool bragging, right? You know, but goddamn, you know, like probably the biggest system I've ever found is, you know, like 45 or 46 or something like that, bro. Like you know, we can all be finding like absolutely like massive fucking systems. Am I the only one who does this, by the way? So this is my default like mouse sensitivity. You know, like it's like omega slow. And then like when I press like my DPI button, you know, like I mean it goes to like 10,000. Like the default I have it is like 1600, and then I press the switch and it goes to 10,000. And I just have it for what the hell is that? Anyways, and I just have it for you know, uh stuff like this for quickly moving around the fucking FSS, because without, you know, higher DPI, you know, like let me turn it down again, you know, like look at this dude, like I gotta pick my mouse up and like move it like 15 times to like move just that amount of distance. So it's like really annoying. I mean probably everybody does that, but you know, anyway. You know what? I didn't actually anticipate this to take too long. You know, I got really have many more things to rant about right now, but definitely pretty fun to just like actually play the game. I'm pretty annoyed actually. We had 9 people total, including myself, so it was me and 8 other people that came on this expedition. You know, like we started at the bubble. We went. We saw some extra stuff on the way. You know, like some like black holes and like a bunch of other cool shit. But anyway, so like we started at the bubble. And we went basically to Sagittarius A in the middle because, you know, why not? It was cool. I wanted to go look at it. And then from there, we went up to Beagle Point, you know, because obviously, you know, I want to go there at least one time. And then I went to go look at like, what is it called, like Ishlam's Reach or some shit. I went there, you know, explored kind of around there a little bit. I was actually, you know, I was fooling myself. I was like, dude, what do you mean this game has like fucking billions and hundreds of billions and billions of freaking star systems? There has to be, you know, there has to be something further than this Ishlam's Reach. You know, like, what do you mean, right? Like literally that place was found like forever ago. You know, like we have Mandalays that can jump like 100 light years now. You know, like how has literally no one found anything further yet? And I did look around quite a bit. You know, like, and I was like, huh, you know, like I have the fleet carrier, you know, like the fleet carrier can jump, you know, 500 light years in one jump. Like, obviously I'm gonna find something new, but, you know, apparently that is literally just, you know, the furthest thing, or at least it's the furthest thing kind of up there. I kind of tried to go, you know, like horizontally and like vertically, you know, like back a bit and trying to see if there was like a way to go more forward, or I guess more further away. And no, you know, like I was there for quite a few days. You know, like looking at the galaxy map and like trying to see if there's anything. Yeah, no. Like I found something that was kind of close. I found something that was like 20 light years, not 20 light years away from the Ishlam's Reach or whatever the hell it's called, but like from Sol, like it was like within like 20 light years. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of cool. Oh yeah. It's kind of crazy to me that, you know, this game is like, what is it, like it's still like less than 1% explored or whatever. But yet, you know, like it seems like all the cool shit is already done, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing further than, you know, something somebody found in, I don't know, probably a ship that could only jump, you know, like 40 or 50 light years. You know, now we have the capability to jump 10 times that. And still there's nothing. Like, what the hell is that, right? But anyway, yeah, so like over here, you know, like you can see I like went kind of up. I guess I didn't go that down, but you know, like I went up and I found some stuff that was like kind of diagonal. I was trying to think diagonal would be a bit further away, but you know, like, and especially, you know, like look at kind of like where this place is, right? Like, all right, actually, let me click on Beagle Point. Oh, we're 10,000 away right now. All right, so like let me click on Beagle Point, right? Like, so Beagle Point, and then, you know, like that's what, maybe half into the total, like, you know, distance of this, like, of, you know, the abyss, and you tell me that there's just nothing over here at all? Like, actually nothing? Like, what do you mean? Like, I mean, obviously, you know, I don't know, whatever, but like it definitely like kind of pissed me off that I didn't, that, you know, that I wasn't able to find anything. I did find a few cool things though. I did find a system with a like I first discovered a black hole, which is something I wanted to do, because, you know, just having my name on like a black hole, it's pretty cool, and that's one of the things I enjoy about this game, you know. You can just like slap your name on a bunch of stuff. You know how like what whenever like kids are arguing or whatever, and then they're like, "Oh, I don't see your name on it." You know, like literally in this game, your name is on stuff. So it's pretty funny. It was a really small black hole though. Like it was like really teeny weeny. Like, you know, obviously, you know, like I wanted to find like, you know, like a freaking like a fucking, I don't even know, like a quadruple black hole, like fucking, you know, neutron star wolf like flying through it, you know, like calamity, you know, like planets crashing into it. Yeah. But yeah, at least I found one. Where are these icy buoys? But yeah. Well, what the fuck? Did I explain why I was a bit annoyed about some of the people in the squad? Basically, like we came out here with like 8 people. It was around like 150-ish man hours of mining, which got really extended. Basically, straight up like half of the people were like, "Nah, I'm not gonna mine," and I was like, "Oh, okay. Why did you come? Like, why are you here? Like, you're not gonna help? Like, what's the point?" And then like a few of the other people were they did mine. They definitely did mined a lot. We needed to mine a lot of tritium. And I mean, you know, that's kind of the thing that frustrates me about fleet carriers, you know, like in my opinion, okay, a fleet carrier in this game is best used as like a bubble bus, or like obviously if you're doing some sort of like large quantity of trading, but I mean I don't like to do trading. I'm honestly too lazy to just sit there and load and unload a fleet carrier. I'm not even gonna lie, like it's boring, and people that do that are like brain dead. I'm sorry, but anyways. So, and I know that you can get people to do it for you, and I don't even want to get started about talking about the people in PTN, because PTN are a bunch of losers. Anyway, so fleet carriers are bubble buses, and my argument is, imagine if you're a solo player, right, and you want to go to Beagle Point, for example. You can actually hold enough fuel to get there, and like about, you know, a quarter of the way back, you know. But then if you want to bring your nice fleet carrier back, you know, to you know, where the hell you are, have fun mining for like thousands of hours. And you know what, mining, I also feel that mining is fundamentally flawed in this game. I'll explain why. So mining in this game, right, I've maybe mined. Actually, can I check? Like, is that like a, there's like a statistics, right? Hold on. I don't want to like base my bullshit off of absolutely nothing, right? Where even? Oh, the codex, and then like, what is it? Is it your commander? Mining? Okay, so I have mined basically nil. I mean, I guess you can now take my opinion with a grain of salt. You know, like I've only made, you know, just over half a bill from mining, which, you know, if you play this game, you know that's, you know, not a lot. You know, compare that to exobiology, you know, like I've barely done exo. Like I'm really lazy, and it's like 4 billion. You know, like I've refined 1,500 things, you know, not a whole lot. But the reason why that is, I feel, right, is because, like I said, mining is flawed. And the reason why I think it's flawed is because of the way that like the rocks work in this game. not how you gather them, but that also tilts me, and I'll get into that after I'm done with this, if I, unless I forget. But so when you collect a rock, I'm gonna say, by any means necessary, whether that is, laser mining, subsurface, or like the abrasion blaster, or deep core, or anything, right? When you're collecting rocks, right? Whatever you're using to break them, you need to get 10 of that rock, so like 10 fragments, basically. And then that will transform into like one of that material. And let's take laser mining, for example, because it's the only one I've done, because let's be real here, who is doing deep core mining in 2025, like actually no one. Which also annoys me. Actually, slight tangent. Laser mining, lowest skill, easiest to do, highest profit. That is not how you balance a game, okay? Alright, okay. Tangent over. I know, like I said, it was very short. So the issue I have with mining in general, right, is when you have, say you wanna get tritium for your fleet carrier, right? So if you're in the bubble, okay, and I know that somebody's gonna be like, oh well, you can do anything you want to get money. Okay, nah, fuck you. So specifically mining, right? You're probably going to be mining for platinum, or if platinum has like randomly dipped in price since I've been gone for like 6 months, you're gonna be mining for whatever other really high value like metal, right? And when it say tritium, right? A tritium is worth like global average of like 50,000, right? And a platinum, I'm not sure right now, but let's just go ahead and be generous and say like, or not generous, be like on the low end and say like 220,000. So like, what that means, right, is that for, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say right here, if you're looking for somebody that has like fucking like math skills like that, that's that's not me, like I'm about to just like complain real quick, but the way that you laser mine, and probably the other type of mining, the way that you gather like ore in this game essentially to make into like if you're talking about like an MMO, you gather the ore and then you refine it into the bar. So the way that you like gather, I guess, bars in this game, right, you get 10 fragments, and then that gives you like one of the actual ores, and the break speed, the collection, and the I guess difficulty, the amount of time it takes to like get 10 tritium fragments, for example, and 10 like platinum fragments is the exact same. And I'm just using tritium as an example because tritium is, I believe, probably the only useful thing. Like, like the only thing that you do with platinum or any other like high value thing, right, is you sell it to an NPC. Like other players aren't out here like buying platinum. Like, it has, I mean, okay. I actually haven't played since they added the system colonization, right? So maybe this is now untrue information, right? But anyways, so ignoring that small fact, other players aren't out here buying these materials, but other players are buying tritium, because that looks cool, doesn't it? Because people actually use tritium all the fucking time. Tritium is useful. You want tritium, but it literally makes like 4.5, almost 5 times more sense to, if you want to mine tritium, if you want tritium, go and mine platinum, sell the platinum to an NPC, and then buy the tritium that you wanted to mine, and then you have your tritium in the same amount of time it would have took you to mine the tritium, but you also have like an extra like 100 mil, you know, you also have like a ton of extra money. And like that's stupid. That's real stupid in my opinion. It should not be like that. And you know, probably like a bunch of people are gonna get tilted at this, right? But in my opinion, lower value materials, minerals, you know, like the ones that are, you know, worth like in the thousands or, you know, like even the hundreds, they should reduce the amount of like fragments that you need to like create, you know, like the actual ore, you know. And like, for example, if platinum still required the 10 fragments that it does, right, like that wouldn't change anything. Platinum would still be like, you know, the same amount of money per hour, right? Like say tritium would only require, I don't know, well, like 2 fragments, you know what I mean, like 2 or 3 fragments and you would get the whole tritium. And you know, that would be good for multiple reasons, you know, kind of like I alluded to earlier, you know, like if you're a solo player like exploring in your fleet carrier, and I'm talking about deep exploration, you know, if you're only going out like 10,000 light years or something, you know, like it doesn't matter. And you know what you're gonna do, like one 500 light year jump, you're gonna explore everything, you know, like in like 100 light year radius or so around your fleet carrier, and then you're gonna get back in it and then you're gonna jump, you know, 500 light years again, you know. Like this isn't gonna affect those people, you know, like they're literally, you know, like they're barely using tritium anyways. But for the people that are like, you know, doing, you know, like tens of jumps, you know, like 30, you know, 40 jumps a day, which I know isn't a lot of people, and even then the people that are currently doing that probably won't be doing that for very long. But like, I mean, I'm doing that right now. Let me tell you, it's real boring. Especially refueling. Refueling is super stupid. But like, oh sorry. Even though I was complaining about, you know, like people not wanting to help, and the people that did help, you know, like it because the other people didn't want to help, I guess is my reason. Like it still, the whole mining thing still took forever. You know, like if you're a solo player and you're bringing your fleet carrier out deep, have fun mining tritium for literally the rest of your life is all I'm saying. Like it kind of like neuters exploration with the fleet carrier, which is why I think it's just a glorified bubble bus. Because, for example, even disregarding fuel, right? When you use your fleet carrier to travel great distances, you miss out on so much. You don't, you know, get your discoveries, you don't get your scans, you don't get anything, you know? You're just sat in the fleet carrier and you literally, you get nothing. In fact, you lose, because you lose tritium, you know? And on top of that, the fleet carrier, right, is not even faster. It's not even close to faster than traveling with like even like a low tier exploration build with like minimum to 0 engineering, you know. Like on a good day you're looking at like 20 minutes to like 20 I'd say 20 to 22 minutes per, like, you know, like per jump. Because, you know, like there's the amount of time that it takes, and then there's also, you know, there's also the what the heck is this thing? There's also the cooldown after a jump, which is like always, you know, like why does that exist? And then the fact that you can't chain jumps, oh my god, the fact that you have to sit there and like, you know, wait and just tell it to jump again. So, dude, it's so annoying. The whole fleet carrier system and like tritium, I feel it needs to be like completely reworked. I'm totally losing my train of thought because I'm just getting like so wrapped up in, you know, like all the BS. And I, like, I understand that the fleet carrier is like, it's good because, it's literally a mobile base you can bring around, like 40 of your ships, which for most people is, all of their ships. Or at least all of the useful ones, like I'm not seeing many people that are, using more than 40 ships. Like, how would you even? You have like a medium cargo, a large cargo, you have like a small, medium, large fighter. Maybe you have like 2 AX ships, a few PvP ships, like. Anyways, so. Wait, where are we? Yeah. Are we out here? Oh, we are here. Okay. I guess rambling kind of, So while I was here, I was in the FSS, and I was actually my, wait. Is it gone now? Huh? Confusion. I'm definitely here. Yeah, it was. I don't know why I clicked on that one. I guess like it's like my eyes are like, oh, look at it, it's blue. No, but like, what? Also, what the heck is that? Look at that. Anyway, what? Let me like go closer to this main stuff. Yay, gravity. Alright, anyways, I swear when I was in the FSA. While I was here in my Type 9, so I couldn't have stayed, right? There was another signal source here. Alright, whatever. At least we got to rant. And we got to talk about some shit and explore some stuff and actually play the game. I have no idea where I was in like any conversation at this point. Oh well. Let's just head back to the carrier. So yeah, I mean, it's not gonna take too long. Well, there's a bunch of high mel content worlds here, and they have atmospheres and stuff. So I know that there's a way. Like, I literally had like a web page, right, where you can like look at like the composition of like a body or whatever, and like, basically tell without even going to it and scanning it if there's a chance for it to hold stratum. But honestly, just like, I don't care, so I'm just gonna go scan them anyway for funsies. You know what else is strange about this game? The economy, money in general is really weird, because like, yeah, I'm not saying we're gonna find any stratum like in this system, because like, I haven't done any research, I haven't like looked it up or anything. I just wanted to come here because last time I was here I saw a weird signal source. But anyways, if you are actually hunting stratum, like, and you're following like the thing, that like tells you where to go and like what planets to go to. And I'm not talking about, like discover. I'm talking about first footfall only. Like only first footfall stratum. Each one is worth what, like 90 mil? And then like I remember I said this though, when I was like, how can you honestly tell me that this game is balanced when like killing, like, you know, a Hydra or whatever, the Thargoid, the Hydra Thargoid like interceptor or whatever, is like basically no one can do it. It's like, I mean, obviously people can do it, you know, it's really hard basically, you know, like it's like the hardest content in the game, and it gives like less money than like, you know, like 2 stratums. And the guy was like, oh well, you know, sometimes finding those 2 stratums can be really hard. And no, you know, like I disagree. Like I heavily disagree. Finding stratum is like really easy if you're actually looking for it. Of course, you know, now that I've said that, none of these bodies are gonna have stratum, but you know, like do I even have it pinned still? Like I'm thinking, like, because I know that you like, what is it? You go to the information, yeah, and it's like sulfur dioxide. I think sulfur dioxide can never have stratum. Ammonia, I believe ammonia can have stratum actually. So let's just go there. Well, that's a little far away. Anyways, we'll check. I mean, it's high metal content ammonia with like atmosphere and like landable surface. So this is a pretty good candidate for having stratum. Let me just look at it one more time. Yeah, okay, it is high metal content. I'm not trolling. But yeah, I believe that the sulfur welds of the same kind of breed only have bacteria on them. Oh god. You know, like it's always good when you really need to sneeze. You're able to mute your mic in there. Oh yeah, I don't know when this actually happened the first time, but why is this game pay to win now? Obviously trying to fucking rage bait some people with that, but you know, it's stupid. Why can you buy ships for money? Alright, anyway. Let's see what that does. Probably just getting 2, honestly. I didn't realize it was a smaller planet. Yeah, whatever. 3 anyway. Oh yeah, look, stratum. So, just like that. I mean, there's a chance it could be like the breed of stratum that is, you know, really, you know, not good. I mean, it's basically everywhere. Like, I have this one friend who's really bad at orbital landings, and he fucking face plants into planets. And one time, I actually felt really bad because he traveled for like like 3 hours, and then didn't pay attention, and then slammed into a planet, and got sent all the way back and lost everything. Yeah. Sucks. You should probably get better planetary landings. But yeah, I mean, this ship that I'm in right now, it's kind of like a do everything ship. You know, like I have the field maintenance unit, I got 2 rails, 3 plasmas. You know, I got operations limpet and a repair limpet, even though I'm not holding any limpets right now. You know, I got all that stuff. SC suite, literally, like, what is even that? That's new to me. 32 tons of cargo, and it can jump, you know, 44 light years, which for the cover Mach 5 is pretty good. As you can see, my shield health, and my hull is actually not too bad either. So, you know, like, I kind of made this so that I could, you know, do the majority of, you know, like when, what was it? When the, what is that shit called? The new fucking power play, whenever that came out, basically. Yeah, I wanted something that I could use for that. That was small and fun. Anyway, we do have the good stratum right here. And exobiology in this thing is really good. I used to use the you know, the what is that other thing? The Mandalay for exobiology. But this is way smaller, way more fun, and you can land it in like just much tighter kind of areas. And I really like it. Yeah, I mean, look at that. You know, like, first football, you know, stratum. Like, this is basically 100 mil. And you're telling me that this is like equivalent of like fighting Thagoids. And honestly, like, if you're in the bubble, like, you really don't have to come out too far. You know, you really don't have to come out too far to get first football stratum. I would say maybe like 3,000 light years, and then just go up or down a bit, and then you're just in the middle of nowhere. So I know some people like to use like the SRV for this, but honestly, the SRV sucks, and your ship is a lot faster than the SRV. So, you know, if you're confident with, you know, flying, you know, close to the surface, you should definitely do it this way because it's way faster. And SRVs are stupid. I feel like every time I try and drive an SRV in a straight line, it just like, you know, like it does like the random like flip and does like a spin, and then like, you know, you're facing the wrong way, and then you're accelerating in the wrong way, which is making it like skid, and it's just like really really unenjoyable fly, or to fly, to drive. I do not enjoy the SRV. I mean, I kind of enjoyed the Mandalay. Like, I did definitely use the Mandalay when it came out. Like, I have 2 of them. I have one that's set up for just long range jumping, kind of. I guess it only gets like 91 or 92 light years, but I didn't want to take it all the way back. I still wanted it to be like a little bit good, like a little bit useful. I think that pure jump builds are kind of dumb because, you know, like, you're gonna get there and have nothing, you know. Anyways, I guess that's a little bonus. Now, let's head back to the fleet carrier, which is, you know, gonna be about 12 jumps away. I guess I'll set the route really quick. Well, I didn't find what I was looking for, but, you know, like, I'm leaving empty-handed. We found some cool systems, and I got a stratum, so why not? That's another thing, like, about the cover, like, you know, you can basically just like fucking jump straight away as soon as you can get off like off bodies real quick, off surfaces, and just you're in the thick of it, just jumping again. Really nice. I actually one of the reasons I want to get back to Civilization is because I want to get the new ship. What is it called? The Corsair or whatever. Which I'm gonna get a whole lot of shit from my friends because they all think that the Corsair is literally the ugliest ship in the entire game. And I mean, it definitely does look like a toucan, but at the same time, it's a new ship, and new ships are fun usually. I'm also kind of curious, like, I haven't played Elite really that long. I think I played it back in like 2020 for like maybe 200 or 300 hours. But I only really started playing it again, like maybe like mid 2024. So like I kind of don't get why like they took so long to add ships, and now they're just like, oh okay, we can add ships now. Like, and now they're just like, I mean, it is good. It's good that they're adding, ships. Like, new ships are awesome, but like I don't get why there was like such like a drought, like if we compare it to like an MMO, like WoW, right? Like Warlords of Draenor was like a mega content drought. Like it was like super boring for a really long time. Like why did they wait so long to like add actual content? Like why did they wait so long? Because obviously they can't. I guess that they probably can't add or like change or move or like the galaxy, like bodies and stars and stuff. They probably can't do that, and like I don't know how the game is set up and made or whatever, but like it just seems recently, like all this stuff is being added to the game. Like they're they're adding like the colonization, like they've shown like base building, and like they added like the Odyssey. I know Odyssey was a while ago, but like they added that, and like it just seems like there was a real long time where they didn't add anything. And now they're just like adding ships like all the time. Well, like I mean, to be fair, like I wish that they would add ships faster, like it doesn't take you very long to be like a casual player and just buy every ship. Like other than I don't even know if the Corsair is available for credits yet, but like other than the Corsair and the Cutter. So I specifically hate the Cutter. Like I have the rep and everything. I just don't like the Cutter. I think it's so ugly. It's so slow. So like other than those two ships, like I definitely own like every ship in the game. Like multiple of every ship in the game, like where is it? Yeah, like Rear Admiral I bought or no, like what is it? Is it Duke? Because Rear Admiral is for the Corvette, right? So the Empire, I think they need Duke to get their ugly Cutter. But I don't know, like the Cutter just like doesn't do it for me. Like it's super ugly. And I know that because like I have some of my friends, literally like the only ship they fly is the Cutter, like they have like 3 or 4 of the stupid things, like they got one for cargo, they got one for AX, which blows my mind, like why? And then they have like they have like their PvE grind one, like with like the kind of infinite ammo sort of setup. Like they have like some of them have like the stupid PvP one with just like butt ton of fucking shields. you know, and you know, like there's like kind of like, I guess there's not really an exploration build. I hope people don't explore in that thing. Like, good damn. Imagine trying to land that thing. You know, like I actually went through a period where I was exploring in an orca. You know, like I called it the Explorca. And you know, that was like kind of in my infancy of this game, to be honest with you. And definitely trying to land. It was some planet that was not super far out of the bubble, with like a guardian sight on. That it was one of the, I believe it was like if you look up like Commander Exigius, like he made a video on how to get like the Guardian FSD booster. It might have been that one. And that's when I learned that landing big ass ships on certain planets, especially like ones that are really bumpy, not fun. Really hard. Especially, you know, like when you weren't too good at the game. And you know, it was definitely a challenging experience. And now that, you know, like I'm a little bit better at the game, you know, definitely like having like, you know, like a small ship like the Cobra is like incredible. And I mean, I could probably get this up to like 55 or 60 light years, but then I'm like losing a lot of the utility, you know, that I designed the ship around. You know, like it's not meant for like, you know, a ton of exploration. You know, it's only meant for like kind of shorter trips. But yeah, I mean, like I could take the armor off. I mean, that would add probably like 6 or 7 light years, like, you know, straight there, you know. So definitely, like you could make this thing probably get like 60 or more than 60 if you're one of those people who like to super strip stuff down. I don't like to do that though. I like to have something that's like, you know, competent and can defend itself and actually do things. What do we do? What is this anyway? Oh, that's kind of cool. How many? I wasn't paying attention when we honked. How many bodies do we have here? 17. Alright. Let's see. High metal content world. Maybe it'll be a stratum there as well, who knows? But yeah, definitely the trading and like the mining aspects of this game, I definitely don't enjoy. For sure, like exploration, exobiology are like way funner in my opinion. I feel like, yeah, there it is. Oh my god, this is far away. Look at that. He's far away, dude. Definitely want to, you know, like stream a bunch of other random games. Honestly, like I want to kind of get into like all the mods 10 again, and but I don't know, like if you've ever played all the mods 10, like I don't know, like it just like I mean, it's not even that mod pack specifically, right? So you know how like it's really popular to like talk about like the 2-week Minecraft phase or whatever, and like nobody ever innovates on like the whole thought of that, or at least I haven't seen too much of that, right? Like my deal with that is sometimes you just really want to play Minecraft, and so I don't play vanilla because I don't find vanilla enjoyable. I think vanilla Minecraft is really boring, which is fine because Minecraft, you know, has probably got like the best like modding community. You know, like I know people are like, oh well, the only reason Skyrim is so good is because, you know, like no, like the amount of mod packs and creativity that people are doing in Minecraft is absolutely insane. Like, I just saw something where, you know, like, not even including all the technical stuff, you know, like Greg Tech and like all of the stupid offshoots of Greg Tech, like super symmetry and, you know, you know, like that shit is like basically chemistry. Like, you know, nobody can be bothered to play those packs. Like, you know, like Greg Tech New Horizons, wait, like, what is that, like 10-15,000 hours? That's way too much of an investment, bro. Like, I'm not about to do that. But like, you know, like I saw recently somebody trying to like, or either trying to, or they've already like basically remade like Bloodborne in Minecraft, which is just completely insane. You know, like when you think about it, Minecraft is like less of like a standalone game and more of just basically like a Unity engine, you know what I mean? Like it's insane, like the amount of stuff that people are able to do in Minecraft, like with command blocks and redstone and like, you know, whatever else, you know, like actual mods as well, you know, like it's just insane. It's like Minecraft is like a framework, and you know, like it's just this never-ending game. Because like when you say you know, like, oh, I play Minecraft, you know, like when you say that to, you know, like most people, you know, maybe not most gamers, I don't know, but like definitely most normie people, they're like, oh, haha, my 6-year-old plays Minecraft, what is wrong with you, you know? Like, you get a lot of that, you know, like Minecraft is a kid's game, like go and do something else, or go and play something else or whatever. You definitely get that. But like, you know, in terms of like specifically like all the mods 10, I guess I can touch on Greg Tech a little bit, New Horizons. So I played to like the low voltage age and got bored because it took too long. Alright. Anyway, so moving on to like all the mods 10. So I started playing all the mods, I think I started at all the mods 7. And that was that was basically my first introduction to like tech Minecraft, like modded tech. And so I didn't really set any machines up, any production lines up. I didn't, you know, like I just had like a wall of machines, and I would just like interact with each machine like individually, put something in it, wait for it to be done, and then take it out. And then we played all the mods 8. And then I actually understood, you know, that there's pipes, you know, and like conveyor belts and ways to like move items around. And eventually, I actually, you know, like learned how to set things up. But we didn't end up playing all the mods 8 for too long. I don't really know why or what. Like one or two people just like stopped playing. And then, you know, like everybody else was like, okay, bye, and I was like, oh, whatever. But so all the mods 9 is really, you know, like the one I put probably the most time into. You know, that's the one I kind of actually learned things on, you know, like how you're supposed to do things and set things up, and you know, like basically just get an unlimited amount of, you know, like basic resources, you know, like from like different setups, you know, like mob farms, you know, like infinite, you know, like diamonds, redstone, you know, gold, iron, coal, you know, like everything, you know, like setting productive bees up, and you know, just like actually setting things up and getting things rolling, and like having things being made, and like, you know, like neural, you know, like if you've ever played like hostile neural networks, you know, to just start grinding out like nether stars, and just like stuff like that. And yeah, so all the mods 9 is kind of where I learned that, and we only missed like 3 pieces of the ATM staff. I don't remember what they were or what they were called. I think it was the pocket black hole or whatever. It might have been like the Nexium emitter, and then like maybe I really don't know, but maybe the one that uses like the from Cataclysm, like the Cataclysm parts one that uses like the hats of sacrifice or whatever those were called, from like the ocean places. It might have been like those 3 pieces, and pretty much like we just couldn't be bothered. Like we had already set up like all this cool shit. We had like the style, like, you know, basically like everything set up to be automated, you know, and then like there was these few things that we just, that none of us could be bothered to get these things and like figure out how to set it up or whatever. Like we just kind of reached a point where like, you know, we just couldn't be bothered to you know, to just do the rest of it. And then so we stopped playing all the mods 9, and then a couple months later, like 5 or 6 months, we went to play like all the mods 10. And all the mods 10 was relatively the same, but because a lot of us already knew kind of, you know, like what we were doing, the progress in all the mods 10 was, I mean, I'm not trying to say we knew what we were doing, but, you know, like we weren't complete buffoons. So like the progress was definitely a lot faster. And for me in Minecraft, right, I will get bored of a world if I become too powerful. And player power is really not the focus of like all the mods. So you can get very powerful very quickly. You know, with like, especially with like Apophis. You know, like you have your unobtainium armor, and then you have iron spells and spellbooks, and you know you're casting black holes and throwing tentacles everywhere, and literally everything around you just instantly dies. You know, like I mean, it sounds cool, but it's real boring eventually. Really, 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 really boring. And so because I didn't have player power to work on, I also couldn't, you know, really be bothered to get, you know, like the things that I knew that I couldn't be bothered to get last time. And so I don't know, like we ended up basically getting to like the same situation again where we only needed a couple pieces, but in like a third of the time, and then we just like couldn't be bothered to finish it. I don't know, like for me, like the best part about Minecraft is the challenge of like overcoming something. You know, I feel like that's why a lot of people play things, you know, like Dark Souls. I do love Dark Souls. I don't like the new shit. You know, like I don't really like Elden Ring. I played Elden Ring. I got like a, you know, like 1,000 gamer score, as the Xbox idiots say. You know, like got all the achievements. Got to like New Game Plus 4 or 5 or something. Just, you know, got bored. But the thing that I most enjoy about Minecraft, other than like, you know, not knowing how to do something, because figuring out how to do stuff is also really fun, but the challenge. And so like, you know, when you first spawn in, you know, like you have nothing, you know, like it becomes nighttime, and especially if you're playing in a modded pack, you know, like you're just dead. You know, in vanilla not so much, but like, you know, with mods, like you're just gonna die at nighttime. Well, obviously depending on what you have. So there's this really like pattern thing that I've sensed, you know, like with my gameplay of Minecraft, and that is when I have nothing and when it's still a challenge, and when my player is, you know, weak, it is so addicting. Like I'll literally play that for like 15 hours a day until I like, you know, get strong, and I want to get strong like the whole time I'm playing, and then as soon as I get strong, I'm like, wow, this game's really boring now, and then I stop playing. And it's basically like a number of things, you know. It can be having a base and being like set up and like safe and secure in a base, and, you know, like having a food source, you know, like in your basement or whatever, say, you know, like you've set up like farms or whatever, right? You know, like, because once you have that foothold, you're basically never gonna die, you know, like even when you're playing hardcore, like you just don't die. Especially in vanilla, which is why I think the vanilla like Minecraft hardcore video like genre as a whole is so like, you know how crazy it is now. Like I played Minecraft Hardcore and I got Elytra and I built this 12 million block mega base on like day one. Like, obviously that's yeah, but you know, like those, like the reason why that genre has just gotten just so ridiculous is because like I feel like people have realized that like you know Minecraft is you know obviously just fucking not that hard, bro. Like it's not that hard to get set up. And you know, once you have like just iron armor, a base, and you know, like a shield and like an infinite supply of food, you know, like even in hardcore, you're you know, you're completely fine. Like you're not gonna die. Like I mean that's just my opinion. So as soon as I reach that point of like, wow, this is real easy now, like I don't even have to do anything. That's when I kind of like lose, you know, interest in Minecraft. And definitely the last time we played Ultimates 10 to kind of loop to that really quick. I played AE2 and we had like all the AE2 mods, you know, like all the add-ons and like stuff and all the plugins that it has. You know, like extended A and like A tweaks and just like all the, you know, like with the quantum computer and all that stuff. And I literally set up I made a pattern for everything, every single item in AE2 and every single item in Mechanism. I could literally just open my infinite powered wireless bottomless backpack from anywhere, you know, because obviously, you know, like the infinite range wireless cross-dimensional terminal. I could just open that up anywhere, immediately have pretty much any item that I would want. Like everything was set up to be auto, from like the crystal chambers to like, you know, every single type of circuit board. And then at that point, you know, like I was like, well, I've completed AE2, I've completed Mechanism, you know, like I can't be bothered to do anything else, you know, like. And yeah, I just kind of got bored, like it was just all too easy, and stopped playing. And then after I played Ultimates 10 the last time, I actually played RL Craft, the original RL Craft, for the first time. Not like the Drugaria or whatever, just like the regular RL Craft. And that game, that mod, I should say, incredible. I died like I think between 700 or 800 times. I had like 21,000 mob kills. You know, like I got like full like, you know, GG like golem armor. And you know, eventually I got the sentient great cleaver, like fully like god like enchanted. I like I played that so much. Probably like 300 hours playtime. Like it was extremely long and very challenging. I had to think about how I used my words there so it didn't sound weird. But yeah, like just because you know like how in R if you ever played RL Craft, like it's a wonderful experience because the entire time, you know, you just stand to just die and you lose your whole inventory and there's nothing you can do to get it back. I mean, you could try to get it back, but you might not be able to depending on like how you died, especially if you're new to the mod pack and you're just kind of playing normally. Like I lost my inventory countless times, you know? Like at least 20 times I lost my entire inventory in that mod pack. And that's being, you know, real nice about it. I probably lost it closer to like 30 or 40 times. You know, but eventually you get better and you overcome, you know, and you just keep trying. And yeah, RL Craft, if you haven't played RL Craft, definitely you like Minecraft mod packs and like the challenge, definitely just play vanilla RL Craft. It's incredible. It was a really good experience. Uh, Absolutely. I'm thinking about RL Dragaria, but from the outside looking in without having anything spoiled, Dragaria, I don't know. It basically looks like the same game, but with a few different biomes, and with how many hundreds of hours it took, and with how tough it was. Um, I'm not entirely, like, yes, like, let me play basically the same thing again, you know? So, yeah. Don't know what mod pack I'm gonna play next. I mean, maybe it'll be all the mods 10 again, because I just enjoy the progression. I do enjoy the progression of all the mods 10. I just wish that it was more balanced, Like, there are so many mods that just completely invalidate other mods. Like, totally obliterate them in terms of, like, efficiency with literally every aspect of the game. Movement, power, building, like crafting, resource, like literally everything. There are so many tools in the mod pack. There's hundreds of ways to break a fucking rock, right? But there's like basically two that you would ever use realistically. Like I don't know, like with the way that all the mods 10 is, and don't even get me started on the infinity tools. What did they want, like 2.147, like I don't even know, whatever is like, what is it, like million and then billion and then like septillion and like fucking, dude, I don't fucking know. It's like a ridiculous amount of power. It would take like hundreds of days of just running to like fully charge those, with getting like 100 mil like FE per tick. It would take like, I remember I like calculated on like ChatGPT. I was like, oh, I'm making like 100 mil per tick. Like, how long would it take to like fill this or whatever? And it was like, like that would take like 280 days. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And obviously that's like, a ridiculous amount of time for an item in a mod pack, especially for the infinity nukes, right? That you just use one time and then they just explode and then they're gone. Like, what am I hearing right now? I do not know. Radio Sidewinder is just going. And it sounds like throwing a bunch of silverware down the stairs, honestly. Alright. There we go with the system scan. How far away are we right now? Oh, we're only 2 jumps away from the carrier. But yeah, I mean, we've definitely gone over a bunch of stuff today. Like, I'm very, like, people have called me very, like, pessimistic, or, like, I nitpick, or, like, I complain about too many things, in, like, games, or, like, movies, or whatever, or, like, a show. But, honestly, I don't care. I guess that's just my personality. Like, if I don't like something, I'm gonna say that I don't like it. I don't know. It really annoys some people. Like, they're like, oh my god, dude, all you do is complain, like, stop. And I'm just like, okay, so you think everything is perfect? And then they're like, no, but I just don't want to point everything out. You just like make everything worse than it already is. And I'm like, okay, because I'm not fooling myself that, like, I'm not trying to like force myself to do something that's like not enjoyable or whatever. Like, come on now. But yeah, I don't know, like, definitely it has caused some arguments in the past. You know what I said a few days ago or whatever, or like the last time I streamed, I was like, damn bro, talking to yourself makes yourself thirsty AF. Nah, dude, I have a new train of thought. Talking to yourself not only makes you thirsty as fuck, it also makes you real hungry. But maybe that's because I've been awake. What time is it even? Is it? I've been awake 6 hours, and I've only eaten a bag of crisps. So you know, maybe it's just that as well.
System scan complete.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some. I mean, MMORPGs are my main game. It used to be Path of Exile. I have over $6,000 in Path of Exile. Like I played Settlers of Calgo, which is probably just the current league still. As ridiculous as that sounds, it's like 7 months old. I don't even know. PoE used to be like basically my main game. And then you know, they were like, oh, PoE 2 is going to be a continuation of PoE 1. It's going to be more of the same. It's just going to be added onto the game. And then they just went silent for like a year. And then they're like, well, we thought about it. But PoE 1 is boring, actually. We don't like PoE 1 anymore. So we're just going to go ahead and... everything in PoE 1 is now... old and stupid, and we have remade the entire game, and you're gonna love it, and it's so good. And fair enough, you know, like some people, you know, a portion of the player base, I will say that, did actually love PoE 2, but there's also an extremely loud amount of people that are saying PoE 2 is a dog shit, and I'm definitely in that crowd. PoE 2 is not PoE, it's completely different. I hate it, and yeah, no, that's basically it. And because it exists, right, we're now not getting content basically at all compared to what we were getting for PoE 1. Like basically their entire fucking like development team is just like, oh yeah, PoE 2. Which fuck you guys, honestly. Like if I could like refund every single MTX that I've ever put into PoE, because you know, like I'm supporting the game that I enjoy, right? Like I'm supporting PoE 1, and they took all of my money, and all of like everybody's money who's ever like invested in supporter packs, and then they were like, nah, fuck this game, bro. We're gonna make a new game with all that money. Like, what the hell is that, dude? That is fucked up. Yeah, so PoE is carbon dioxide. You know, I can't remember if carbon dioxide can have stratum. I think neon rich frost can have whatever that other thing is. It's like really valuable. But it needs to have like a certain amount of like neon or helium or whatever, and I'm not entirely sure, and I don't remember. So I guess we'll just check out this one. What is it called? Like the better version of stratum? Like I think I may have it, or no. I definitely may. Oh wait, yeah, neon rich. It's like Fluxtra or Flux something or whatever. It's like some Fonticula Sigmatus or whatever. Dude, I don't know, dude. Science names, bro. What the hell is even that? Oh wait, where am I? Did you like super overshoot or what? Oh yeah, we did. I was tabbed out. But yeah, no, one of those is worth like way more than stratum. But you know, like I'm not about to be bothered to go look at it. Because I know that ammonia, we found out earlier, like ammonia, like pretty much like it's guaranteed stratum. So, let's see if this one, what this has. Well, it's 6 probes, so I guess I'll do. Oh, whoa. What the heck? Where's the marker there? Alright, whatever. Let's just see what happens with that kind of spread. I do have like G5 radius on these probes, so.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Oh shit, there's like a big gap like right here. Oh yeah, we have to do it again. Oh well. I guess we'll still get the efficiency bonus, which means literally nothing, so you know, there's that. Okay, so there's absolutely nothing on that planet. All right. Well, I didn't entirely. I guess carbon dioxide is just nothing. Oh well. Let's activate SCO for like 3 seconds. Oh, there we go. That's actually decently well timed, honestly. Anyways, we're just coming back to the fleet carrier now, finally. So I'm gonna land. Sell my stratum just because I don't have much money on me right now. And I would like a bit more. And anyways, yeah, I'm gonna like go back to my ship. Oh, nice voice crack. Sit in my Type 9, fill it up with tritium, which tilts me that you still have to do that. And then I'm gonna, you know, select the next destination. And then I'm gonna end the stream and find something to eat because I am hungry, very, very, very hungry.
Tensions between Yuri Grom and Felicia Winters have erupted into open conflict around the mining system of LP85534.
I wasn't just doing that for fun, by the way. I literally like couldn't see the freaking numbers because they're like obstructed by like the star here. Alright, anyways. I definitely have something that sets throttle to that's 100, right? And then I have this for 75. And then I have this for -50. Well, I guess we just anyways, whatever. I don't know where it is basically. Maybe my keybind is like gone or whatever, but I definitely had a keybind that made my throttle 25%, which I enjoy for like landing. But I mean, honestly, like the ship, oh, it's facing the wrong way. Oh yeah, that is the back. Well, no. Hey, okay, it is. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've actually been able to play this game. We've been like waiting for fuel to be mined for like a long time, and my mining ship has a docking computer, so. Alright, so even though I want to switch to the Type 9, I'm not gonna switch to it yet, because since the Type 9 is a large ship, and the entrance exit is like all the way at the back, it takes forever to run to the elevator and back. It takes a really long time. Whereas with this ship, it's like, you know, it's a small ship, so it's like you don't have to run very far. I wish the fleet carrier had like more internal spaces that were like more useful and cool. I also really, really wish that it had actual information on these screens instead of just gobbledygook bullshit. Like even just the system that you're in, like the body that you're orbiting, like, you know, like what is it, you know, like that would be really cool. I also would enjoy kind of like, you know, up in the commanders kind of area. I guess I'll go there in a second. Yeah, let's sell this really quick. Yeah, like 76 mil, like nice. Alright, anyways, so I would very much enjoy up here, because like this area is cool, but other than like, you know, sitting in the chair at the front, which you don't even need to sit in to pilot your thing, because you can just do it from your menu, which I usually do in the cargo hold, where the fuel is. Could you imagine how cool it would be if you could, like, you know, come, you know, like sit in this chair, right? And then you could like, well, I mean, it would have to be like closer to the screen, because this screen is like really far away when you're in the chair. But you know, like you come to like this screen, right? And then it like has a list of like times and dates and like other commander names that have like docked, you know, like on your fleet carrier, like what they did on your carrier, you know, like if they got off or like used a star or something, you know, like if they bought something from like Pioneer, for example, and then like for how long they were on, and like how much distance they've traveled, and like, you know, when they got off or whatever, and like the systems that they got on and off in, and you know, just like just a bunch of useless information like that, I think would be very, very, very cool. Because I know that might be like hard to do or whatever, but like I don't care, dude. Like it would be awesome. Because it doesn't like add or take away from the game in like a meaningful way for people that, like, you know, don't care for it, and for the people that are gonna whine and be like, why it takes away from dev time, like, bro, like we literally just went over, they had like years of downtime in this game anyway, like it doesn't even matter. But it would be really, really cool, honestly, to just, you know, see who is using your fleet carrier, you know, and like what they're doing on it, and like if you like you literally can't even check who is currently on it, you know. Like we're doing like a kind of a multi-person expedition, right? And we literally have like a thing in the Discord where you have to tell it whenever you're on and off the ship, so that, you know, like whenever I'm going to move it, like I can look at that and be like, ah, okay, either somebody forgot to change their status, which is their fault, or I am positive everybody is currently on the fleet carrier, and I can move it and not have to worry about coming back to like a message from somebody where they're like, wah, you left me 13,000 light years away, I hate you, you know. You literally can't even check like what commanders have ships stocked on it, you know, like it's so stupid. There's definitely like a huge room for improvement. Like they're improving a lot of aspects of the game. This specific aspect I'm doing right now, by the way, this needs to be improved, by the way. This is awful. But yeah, no, they're improving a lot about the game. So if they would just add a bunch of cool, you know, like law kind of like, you know, flavor text type things, like I've just been saying. Oh my god, did I just cancel that? Oh my god, dude, I'm so tilt. But anyways, so you know, it would be really cool if they would add, you know, like a bunch of more like nice like flavor text things. It's stupid that you have to do this. Like, why can't you just audit? Like, you literally, you like, look, you where is it? You have in your crew, your actual crew, right? Wherever that is it the services? You have a Tritium Depot, like, at least one person, right? Like it's probably in realistically, you know, like if this was real, this is probably like, oh my god, look, 31,000. This is probably, like a huge team of people, right? You hire people to do this, and you still have to do everything like this, like by hand. Like you have to be in a cargo ship. You have, well, I mean, you could be in any ship with cargo, but obviously you want to be in a big cargo ship. So you have to have your big ass cargo ship, right? And then you have to come to it, slowly put, however. Dude, what the fuck? Slowly put however much tritium, you want to, am I going crazy? Slowly put how much tritium you want in here, right? And then you have to take it out of your fleet carrier. Dude, no, look, it's just trolling. It's like not. Like if I try and do too much, it's like not. It's like I press this and it just like, anyway, whatever, who cares. So you put it in your fleet carrier, right? Which takes ages, or in your ship, and then from your ship, you then deposit. You click the tritium, and then you donate the tritium. What do you mean donate, bro? It's like ours. We earn it. It's in our cargo. Like, what do you donate? What are you talking about? And then so it's like you take it out of the ship to put it in your ship, to give it to your other ship. It's so stupid. But the whole process just kind of frustrates me greatly. Especially because, like, no one else, like, why can't you give, how cool it would be if you could, like, provide somebody, like, ranks? Like how some games have, like, you can assign a rank to certain players. How cool it would be if you could. I mean, obviously it would have to be somebody that you actually trust, right? How cool it would be if you could assign like a, maybe, I don't know what it would be called, like a ship enjoyer rank. Like, I'm not too down with the fucking law, to be honest with you guys. But like, if you could assign a rank where basically somebody that right? Oh, that's where we are. Can tell your fleet carrier to go somewhere. Like, that would be really cool. Because then, like, I wouldn't have to sit here and do every single jump by hand, Like, I could just, have my friends do it. Because, it do get pretty fucking annoying. Anyways, spoke about a lot of stuff, complained about a lot of stuff. I'm hungry, so see you later.